What's happening everyone, and welcome back to a brand new Ark Survival Ascended video. And in today's video I'm going to be going over the resources from the island and the creature that gathers them the best. I've tried to keep this list in alphabetical order as best I can, however I have grouped some of the resources together, like flint, metal, crystal and obsidian, since there is one creature which gathers them better than any others. So let's get started. Absorbant Substrate can only be gathered from Tusos, so the best creature to use is a Basilosaurus, which can't be grabbed by Tusos, which makes it slightly easier when fighting them and easier to defeat them. Ammonite, Bile and woolly Rhino horns. All carnivores in the game have the same fixed rate when harvesting corpses to get these resources, so it doesn't matter which carnivore you use. Angler Gel, the best underwater tame is a Megalodon, but you can also use a high quality hatchet, which is going to work just as good. The only thing is, you need some way to defeat them. Berries, a Brontosaurus has a proficiency in this resource, so it's probably the best tame, and it has a huge weight to gather lots of berries at once, and a massive area of effect, so it can clear fields of berries quite quickly. Toxin, the Basilosaurus again is probably the best creature, as they are immune to the stun from the jellyfish, allowing you to defeat them a lot easier than other creatures. Black Pearls, they can't be gathered in the same way as other resources. You need to beat creatures in order to gather these on the island. The Basilosaurus is the best for fighting Alpha Moses and Alpha Tusos, so it is going to be the best creature to help you gather Black Pearls. Cementing Paste, Beaver Dams is probably the best way to collect this resource, or you can make this by combining stone and chitin. Chitin, Megatheriums are by far the best creature for this resource, thanks to the proficiency the creature has when it comes to collecting them and fighting insects, and they aren't too difficult to tame. Element, this can only be gathered from boss fights, and each tier of boss fight has its own fixed amount, so what you need to do is figure out what creature is going to be best at fighting the bosses you are going to go up against. Fibre, the Therizinosaurus is probably the best in the game for this, as you can level up its attack to be even more proficient in collecting delicate or finer resources like fibre, but at low levels you can just use a sickle, especially if it's a higher quality sickle, it will work just as well. Flint, metal, crystal and obsidian. The Ankylosaurus is the best, especially with a high damage percentage. You will gather a lot more from individual resources that you actually hit with the Ankylosaurus, and if you pair this with a flyer with a high weight, it will be even more efficient. Hide, Keratin and Pelt. The Therizinosaurus again, the Sabertooth or the Direwolf are the best. The Sabertooth and the Direwolf are a lot easier to tame than the Therizinosaurus, so that's something to bear in mind, especially at low levels. Honey, Direbears can collect twice the amount from hives as you can with your own hands on the island, and hives are the only way to collect honey on the island. Leach Blood, Direwolves are the best for gathering Leech Blood surprisingly, and you will find the leeches in the swamp. They can just be a little bit tricky to actually find. Oil, the Ankylosaurus is the best on land, whereas the Dunkleo is the best for underwater oil rocks, so depending on your preference for harvesting oil depends on which tame you are going to actually take. Organic Polymer, the Sabertooth or Direbear are surprisingly the best for gathering this resource. Again, with a high damage percentage to make them even more effective, you will gather a lot. Or you can use a club, especially if it's a higher quality club, it will work quite well. For rare flowers, the Therizinosaurus delicate gathering, the same way you gather fibre, is the best when trying to collect the flowers from various vegetation across the map, and rare flowers can be found in beaver dams as well. Rare mushrooms, a mammoth and a theri are actually the best tames to use when harvesting rare mushrooms from the swamp trees, but you can also harvest rare mushrooms from crystals, and if you are doing that, then the Yankee is the best. Rare mushrooms as well can also be collected from beaver dams. Raw fish meat and raw prime fish meat, the Spinosaurus is the best. Again, if you level up its damage, it will become even more effective and will gather a lot more depending on what your damage percentage is. Raw meat, raw prime meat and mutton. A Giga, Rex or Karcher with high damage will be the best tame to use, and again, the higher the damage is, the more effective it will actually be at collecting this specific resource. Seeds, the Iguanodon is the best by far, as it can turn all berries and vegetables into seeds in its inventory, giving you an unlimited supply as long as you actually have the berry or vegetable available. Silica Pearls, the anglerfish is by far the best, as it is 4 times as proficient compared to your hands when gathering these pearls from around the map. Stone, the Doedicarus is the best stone collector in the game, and again, the higher the damage percentage the Doedicarus actually has, the more efficient it will be at collecting stone. Wood, the Mammoth has a very good proficiency in collecting wood, it has good weight and a good area of effect when attacking, but the Casteroids has an even better proficiency but lacks the weight and the area of effect when compared to the Mammoth. So again, that's just your preference, and I do find myself that a Mammoth is actually easier to tame, or at least quicker. And that is all of the resources I can think of in the island that you are going to need for your playthrough, and which tames are going to be the best and most effective when gathering these specific resources. But that is it for this video, so please do let me know down in the comment section below if I have missed any resources off this list, and let me know if you have any better ways of collecting these resources that I haven't thought of for this video. If you've enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, make sure to smash a like on it to show support for the game on the channel, and if you are new to the channel and you've enjoyed the video and found it helpful, make sure to subscribe to be kept up to date with all future releases. But other than that, we'll see you in the next video.